today. The Director of Public Prosecution, Mikhail Abdullah, has asked the Special Criminal Court not to grant bail to the first, third and fourth accused persons charged with sedition in the treason trial against Dr. Amadou Skatrejane. Ibrahima Jatta has more on the motion for bail and subsequent trial.
Treason trial was called at the Special Criminal Court. Prosecution came all prepared to deal with the motion of application for bail on behalf of Modou Keita, Ibrahima Jallow and Michael Uche Thomas, the second, third and fourth accused persons respectively. Mikhail Abdullah, the Director of Public Prosecutions, quickly opposed the motion to grant bail to the three accused persons charged with sedition, while submitting that prosecution's objection is based on a 5-paragraph affidavit on which they rely entirely. The court, Mr. Abdullah stated, has the ultimate discretion to grant or refuse bail, but such decisions, according to the DPP, must be exercised judiciously with regard for the offense charged and the need to protect society. The attendant facts of the case must be considered and ought to be the decisive factors in giving bail, DPP Abdullah asserted, and added that bail is not automatic despite agreements on the bailable nature of the offense charged. Even as he cited several law reports to validate his submission, the Director of Public Prosecutions told the Special Criminal Court that the applicants woefully failed to convince the court to exercise its discretion in their favor. The activities of the applicants touched on national security, according to DPP Abdullah, who stated further that there is compelling and cogent evidence against the accused to merit the refusal of bail. Investigations are still ongoing and more charges may be brought against the applicants, Mr. Abdullah declared, and urged the court to reject the motion for bail. The presiding judge, Emmanuel K., however, decided to conduct the ruling on the bail application on November the 29th, and prosecution was asked to call their next witness. Seydou Camara, a resident of Serekunda, is prosecution's 10th witness. A security officer under the Uncle Sam Security Services, Camara identified the first accused person and recalled a particular Thursday when he was returning home from the beach behind BB Hotel around Kotu and saw the first accused standing beside the car near the Kotu Fire Service distributing T-shirts to people. I was also given one of these white T-shirts by the first accused, Camara testified, and added that he wore the top on the following day when he was going to work. After closing from work, I put on the T-shirt, and on my way home was stopped by a PIU officer who arrested and took me into the PIU headquarters, Seydou Camara adduced, and related how he saw the first accused inside the PIU barracks when he was taken in. The 10th prosecution witness revealed that he subsequently told police that the T-shirt was given to him by the first accused. This shirt was later taken by police, according to Seydou Camara, who subsequently identified the top, helping prosecution to admit more exhibits without objection. Under cross-examination, the prosecution witness told the court that he is illiterate but can write his name in English. I don't understand anything about the literature printed on the T-shirt, Camara testified, and was finally discharged. Sittings have been adjourned to November the 28th for continuation of evidence. Ibrahima Jatta, GRTS.
You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, time now to take our first break. We'll be right back, so stay tuned in.
It is a story of a land, of a people, where communication has been our song, our drumbeat. We sing with hearts full of joy. We dream of a better future, one that is upon us now. This is who we are. We are close to the heart of the world. We are as old as time. The soul of man began with us. We are Africa.
Welcome back. Anti-government groups are calling them last chance protests after nearly a week of demonstrations and violence in the streets of Egypt. Activists are promising to crank up their actions to another level. They are demanding an immediate transition of power from the military to civilians. A call from the White House, echoed by the White House. CNN's Evan Watson is in Cairo with the latest.
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Manita, but we're here in Tahrir Square where they just held Friday prayers, a show of force, one could say, to the authorities here, to the military regime, and just days before the country's supposed to go to the polls in the first phase of parliamentary elections. It's notable that the former International Atomic Energy Agency chief, Mohammed Baradei, was here praying alongside the other demonstrators here, trying to show solidarity with them, because many of the established political parties in Egypt have not joined in. Notably, the Muslim Brotherhood has held out. It has not joined in to this protest movement. It is holding its own rally in another part of Cairo today. It's calling it Victory in Jerusalem Day, trying to show basically its ambitions beyond Egypt, and that is going to be attended by a prominent Islamist cleric, Sheikh Kadrawi, who is expected to arrive here from overseas today to address a crowd, and he has a prominent following here. It's very interesting to see among the crowd here, you will see a large number of staunch liberals. You will see also secular liberals. You'll also see football fans from the Ultra Football Club, which played a big role in battling the police, the riot police, during days of bloody street battles here, and also representatives of the more radical Salafi Islamist groups, all side by side here, but not the more moderate and very well established and very well organized Muslim Brotherhood, who are believed and expected to do quite well in Monday's parliamentary elections.
The Syrian government is facing criticism from the international community about the way it is cracking down on dissidents in the country. The Arab League has threatened to further tighten the rules around the regime. As we hear in this report, the authorities are overwhelmingly denying a crackdown.
The chances of Syria's president having a Damascene conversion and suddenly seeing the light look remote. The regime here now digging its heels in, a government in denial and lashing out after being condemned at the UN for grave and systematic human rights abuse and the killing of civilians.
Yes.
This government minister lambasted the Arab world and the West and railed about conspiracies, denying there was anything much wrong here at all.
To be very precise, this is not a popular uprising. As I said, the majority of the Syrian people support President Assad and the reforms. This is very important. And of course, we regret and feel sad about any single drop of blood that being shed.
Today, more civilians reportedly killed across Syria as demonstrations continue. The UN's recent estimate of 3,500 dead will already be well out of date. The government here scorns that arithmetic.
We don't admit this because these are figures based on well-known sources that do not report correctly from Damascus. You are in the country here, you can go and see, but in this respect...
Before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Gambians have renewed their contract with Sheikh Professor Walhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh by giving him 72% of all the votes cast in the November 24 presidential election. A top state prosecutor has urged the Special Criminal Court to deny bail to Dr. Amadou Skater Janneh and two of his co-accused. The Arab League is threatening to continue piling the pressure on Damascus, but the Bashar al-Assad regime is denying suggestions it is prosecuting pro-democracy activists. And anti-government protesters in Egypt are making what they dub the final push to get rid of the ruling military junta despite offers of early elections. You can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. That's all in the news. Thank you very much.